This is Valkyrie. She's the latest legend, and she's an absolute badass. And in this video, guys, I'm going to break down everything you need to know about the new legend, and she is a really strong. Her passive is incredibly strong. Her tactical ability is pretty good, especially when you hit people with it. Pretty hard to aim, but don't worry about it. We'll go over all of this in the video, but also her ultimate is completely ridiculous. It is a game-changing ult. It is designed for rapid, fast relocation, rotating across the map. It is a mobile jump tower. It's just ridiculous. So what kind of legend is Valkyrie? Well, she's a recon legend, which obviously means you can get intel on the next ring zone, which is beautiful and absolutely great. However, she's got tons of movement ability. This means that you can get into some really good positions, but also she's got some fairly major downsides. There's certain places where you can use her abilities and other places where maybe you shouldn't be using them. And in this video, I'll show you all of that. So what I want to just quickly show you here is disengaging with Valkyrie's ult, obviously using Wraith's ult as well to get out of a fight and to disengage. And you'll notice it's a jump tower. It's really good. Now, there's a lot going on the screen here. I'll explain all of this when we get to the section of the video where we just break down her ulti, because it's really powerful. You think about the ability to rotate around a map. This is so good. It's your own personal jump tower. It is mega powerful. She's also got a tactical ability which will smash an area with a swarm of missiles. Now, this is like kind of think of like an arc star, but not as powerful in terms of the stun, but it's got a bigger area of effect, so it's in theory a little bit easier to land, although it's very difficult to aim. But don't worry, we'll break all of this down in the video. I'm going to go into detail on every aspect: her passive, her tactical, her ulti, and just everything else. But the first thing I want to show you guys, this is kind of a bit of a passive. You'll notice there's a new UI here. Now, this shows you where your enemies are. This is for your entire party as well. Doesn't matter if you're the jump master, you just need to be in the group and that everyone can see where people are dropping. This is really strong, really strong, because you can avoid people. But it only detects people when they're in line of sight. If they're hiding inside a building and you can't see them, then it won't actually show them up. Now, this is the ultimate being used to move your team. Players in your team can decide if they want to join you for the jump or not. This is amazing because, of course, you can just do rapid relocation, which is completely invaluable. Now, of course, there's downsides to this. If you're jumping all over the map, people are probably going to see your trails as you're coming down. You know, they'll notice where you are. You see there, though, we actually picked up, there was a group up there. I wouldn't have noticed them unless my passive actually detected them, which is like so good. So we're going to rush them. I'm going to use the bow check here because why not? And also, when I'm saying passive, guys, their actual, I guess, passive ability is the fact that she can fly, but I'll show you that in a second. You basically double jump and you can start flying, and it works in a few different ways. This weapon is absolutely cracked, much like the enemy team are cracked with it. Now, okay, I'm going to get destroyed here by an absolutely sweaty Wraith. You got to remember, this is like the content creator, what do you even call it? Oh, you can see it on the screen, internal capture session. Some of these players are sick, and this Wraith probably was absolutely sick. We'll never know who she was because nobody has their own name. You just got a number, and we'll never really know. But yeah, Bocek, sick weapon. But you can see how we're using her ultimate and her just sort of passive detection of enemies as a, like, use them in concert. It's really good. So there you see me use the actual passive, getting a little bit confusing there, to jump up on top of the building. It's really good for that. Use my tactical to try and hit that enemy down there. Missed, and now this is a really bad use of my ulti. So for a start, my teammates are kind of dying. I've used my ulti thinking, oh, I'm just going to drop on them and kill them. Well, I can see that the three of them are there. Now I'm really worried because I'm like, oh, God, I really can't drop on them. I'm probably going to die. But it's gave me that intel to know where they are. Now, this is another example, and this shows you the line of sight issue with the ultimate. So you pop the ulti, you kind of chill. You obviously, if you press the ulti button again, you will actually disengage the ult and lose 25% charge. But don't worry, I'll show all of this in more detail in a second. But yeah, look at that. So I jump up. I've got my other teammate with me, the Horizon. However, there are enemies inside this ship, which is a new point of interest on Olympus. And you'll notice straight away, you see there's an Octane. If he was out in the open, I'd have detected him as we were dropping through. So always be aware, you need line of sight to find people. Now, you maybe can use this offensively, but there are some issues with this. Of course, it's just the same as when you drop from a tower. You will not be able to pull your weapon out straight away, so you're going to suffer. So this is the arena mode, and obviously we see the enemy there, and we're just going to go straight in on them, which is maybe not the best plan, you see, because I took a ton of damage, and then the fight breaks out. But The thing with this is you could maybe use it in the arena mode just to find out where the enemy is. You could literally fly up in the air and drop back down and go, I know where they are, and ping them. So it's got some really, really strong advantages to it like that. You don't always have to use it to move around. Okay, let's talk about the active or the tactical ability. Now, you can use this while you're flying in the air with your passive. So if you double jump, you will fly. You'll notice on the right-hand side of the screen, when I was jumping, there is a fuel gauge. Now, if you play Overwatch, this is kind of similar to Farah. The fuel gauge just naturally recharges, which is fine. But we'll get onto that in a bit more detail in a second. So I want to show you what it's like when you get hit by the missiles. Now, yeah, that's me just getting hit. Let's get hit again. It looks very good. It's like a very cool effect. The micro missiles shine, like rain down from the sky. And they hit you. The damage is okay, but it's the stun component which is going to kill people. Because you hit them with it, and then you can just follow up and kill them. So this is flight mode. Now, you can move a very long distance with this. However, if you just straight up burn it, you can just, well, aim in any direction. But there is another way of using this. There's level flight mode. So when the energy or the fuel recharges for the jump jets, you can use them again. Now, let's just let this recharge a bit, and then I'm going to fly. But watch what I do this time. So you see flight mode is flashing. It's on level because I've held down primary fire, I believe it is, as I'm flying around. This means you will just, well, move level on a level plane, which could be quite useful. Now I want to show you guys how far you can actually travel with this, because you don't have to constantly use the boost, right? You can boost, drop. Look how far I am moving. That is super good. Like, you can relocate so fast with this, but you've got to be aware when you're out on a map doing this, you're very visible. And when you're floating in the middle of the air with no cover, you can get absolutely destroyed super quick. Again, comparisons to Overwatch and Farah, if the enemy's got a hit scan and you're just flying around in the open and not using terrain, you're just going to die because they're just going to shoot you. And of course, it's even worse in Apex because everybody's going to shoot you, right? So it's like, oh my God, it's super bad. You've got to be aware of it. So let's take a detailed look at the ulti. Now, when you pop the ult, it's got a little bit of a charge up phase, so you can't instantly use it. So you trigger it, and then you either decide to fire off by using primary fire, which will send you up into the sky, or you press the ultimate key again. In my case, it's Q because I'm playing on PC, and it will refund. But you'll see, I only actually get 75% charge. But look how fast it charges. It really does charge pretty quick. Of course, I'm going to use an ultimate accelerant to get it back for the sake of the video. But look, it's already on 81%. It's a very fast charging ulti, this is. It is maybe too fast. I don't know. Anyway, in this mode here, I can wait for allies to come and join in. And when both of them connect to me, I can just simply go up into the sky and I'll take them with me. But in this case, obviously, I'm on my own. And yeah, it's just a full-on jump tower. It's so, so good. When I think of the recent legend, Fuse, I mean, Fuse's ulti is terrible. In fact, Valkyrie's almost a slap in the face to Fuse because she can just use a passive to fly out of his ult. It's like, what is this? Go away. So yeah, but Fuse is being buffed, I believe. I think Fuse is getting 2 charges on his tactical, which is pretty damn good. And yeah, of course, like I said earlier, you can fire the missiles when you're flying around as well. So it's the only thing you can do offensive-wise when you're in the air. You can't use your weapon as you're flying. So let's take a look at some gameplay clips here. So I'm going to use the bow check again, just because, you know, this was a test game, so everyone's using the bow check when they can. You land headshots with this bad boy, and it does some sick damage. It's also, I think, maybe a little bit too easy to aim. I don't know. But anyway, you see me use the passive to sort of jump over a bit of cover. It's all great. It's beautiful. You're getting into range. I mean, I didn't have to use it. I could have just ran forward, but whatever. So yeah, I'm going to push this group here. Using the bow check. I think I'm going to swap to the Vault in a second. Yeah, and I'm just going to push them because I know they're pretty low. Obviously, one of them's down because I hit them and well, I actually down them. So I want to pressure them. My squad are moving in with me. We're getting a lot of work done. It's going to be awesome. They're dying. Goodbye, Pathfinder. It's great. We love it. And, oh, he was a kill leader. So I'll take that as well. That's absolutely wonderful. Enemy team in the ship there, whatever. We'll deal with them later. But I'm going to use my tactical in a second to try and hit a... Well, it's an Octane that we know is hiding. But look how hard it is to actually use this. I think this could be the issue with the tactical. It's so difficult to actually get a very nice sort of hit with it. You see there? Like, it's kind of gone everywhere. Even hit me, one of the missiles did. It's like, what the hell? So it's a bit difficult to land. It's easier to land. Was that an Octane or a Bloodhound? I don't even know what that was. But it's easier to... yeah, it was an Octane. It's easier to use the tactical when you're flying in the sky with your passive. But if you do that, you're super vulnerable. So the advice here is, yeah, the tactical's fine. Maybe don't fly around as much. Because one of the things I found myself doing was spending too much time in the air, especially in a fight, because you think, oh, I'm just going to fly up into the sky. No, because when you do that, your weapons are unequipped, and then you're just sort of waving your hands around. She does the like peace sign when you disengage the flight mode, and then your weapon comes out. There's a delay, and that's a problem because the enemy will just be shooting the crap out of you, and that is not something that you want. What you want, though, is them coming out of a Wraith portal and you just absolutely peppering them with arrows. That's totally what you want. There is a video coming on the channel about this bow, going into a lot of detail on it. So it's a compound bow. It's called the bow check, and it's really, really good. It's got 2 hop-ups, but I won't bore you with the details of it in this video because, like I said, there will be another video with this going into detail because it's a really, really good weapon. I guess the best way to look at it is think of it as a wingman on steroids. It is so goddamn good. So, yeah, what do I think about Valkyrie? Well, this is a guide, a very basic sort of introductory guide I've put together after playing in the internal capture session with other content creators and I think pro gamers and all of that stuff. See, again, how it's a little bit difficult to land that. I think she's much better than Fuse, like way better than Fuse. I think her ultimate is really, really good. And this is kind of where you see Legends getting picked up a lot in Apex when they come into the meta is, do they have a really good ultimate? What's their tactical? You know, look at Jibby. His tactical is great, right? Everyone loves the dome. His ulti's pretty damn good as well. Look at Valkyrie. So she can fly herself. That's okay. It lets you get to high ground easier in some cases. What you've just seen there, though, and the reason why I left that in the video, shows you how annoying it can be to use the ultimate at times. So I pressed my ult key and then pressed it again really fast, trying to trigger it, but that actually turned it off. So now we were going to disengage from this fight, and we would have if I wasn't terrible at the game. But because I double-clicked it, I basically didn't use my ult, and we died because of that. But I really wanted to show that off. But yeah, the hero herself, or the legend, really, really good. The mobility aspect is really, really good. Her tactical is surprisingly good if you can make it hit. It's not high damage, but it is the stun component, which really allows you to secure kills. So when you think about it, you've got a legend with a nice ability when she drops, where you can see the enemy, a mobile jump tower, and a pretty good tactical. She's pretty damn good. All right, guys, I'm going to leave the video at that. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, let me know what you think about this in the comments below. I've been Stylosa, and I'll catch you lovely lot on the next video. Toodaloo.